Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue, I'm Eric. Today, I am talking about Walt Disney World. Specifically, I'll be discussing why I think Animal Kingdom is the best park at Walt Disney World. Before we get into the discussion, subscribe to the channel so you know when new videos come out. Now let's get into the main topic and why I think Animal Kingdom is the best park at Walt Disney World. Now, I am not a Disney fanatic or a huge fan of the parks that go super often. In fact, the last time I went to Disney was before Pandora was built. So clearly, I'm not the best person to talk about Disney on my own. Which is why I've invited Disney fan and excellent theme park channel, CoasterDash.
Hey guys, it's Marc from CoasterDash. As Theme Park Avenue just said, I'm a huge fan of Disney parks, more so than most enthusiasts you'll meet. I personally got to visit Disney's Animal Kingdom for my first visit a couple months back and was completely blown away. Most of that is due to how unbelievable Pandora was, but there is still much more to it. But honestly, that section does feel like you step into another world, more so than Galaxy's Edge, more so than any of the sections at the Castle Park, and etc. And I know most of this video is centered around Pandora, so I just wanted to bring that up.
So CoasterDash has experienced Pandora, and I have done all of the other rides there, and some of those are ones he has not. So we'll each be talking about the aspects of the park we've experienced and know more about. We'll start by focusing on the individual rides, and then move to the theming, and we'll compare the park to the rest of the resort along the way. Let's start with the flagship attraction of the park, Flight of Passage. Take it away, CoasterDash.
So I guess this is the part where I'm supposed to talk about how crazy Flight of Passage is. To this day, I've still yet to decide whether or not it's my favorite ride of all time because it's genuinely a huge contender. No dark ride that I've ever ridden and no ride that I've ever ridden was as immersive as Flight of Passage. Getting to hop on a Banshee and fly through the most beautiful and vast lands you've seen in your life is incredible. For a while, you forget you're even on a ride or at a theme park, which hasn't happened to me before except for maybe on Rise of the Resistance. Flight of Passage is amazing for so many reasons. You've got that sensation of flight, a sensation that feels so incredibly real. You've got the beautiful views, you've got the incredible smells, you can even feel the Banshee breathing at your feet. There is a long list of reasons why this ride is as amazing as it is, but I'm going to leave it at that. If you haven't been on Flight of Passage yourself, I would highly encourage you to do so as it's the best way to immerse yourself in the Avatar experience.
Now to discuss the other ride at Pandora, Na'vi River Journey. CoasterDash, this one's also yours.
Na'vi River Journey oftentimes gets overshadowed by its next door neighbor Flight of Passage. But seriously, do not let that scare you away from riding, and don't let the long wait time scare you away either. It is a short ride, but it's worth it. And I promise that this thing has a long line for a good reason. It is absolutely one of the most beautiful attractions I've ridden with so much theming that all looks so realistic. Let's also not forget about the animatronic at the end, Big Toe. For many reasons, this is why people ride the thing, and I completely understand why. It is one of the most realistic and advanced animatronics in history. Without this guy chilling here singing along at the end of the ride, Na'vi River Journey would honestly feel pretty incomplete. But with that banger ending and everything else, it makes this such a full package for a dark ride. Absolutely love this thing.
Now I'm going to talk about the lone ride in the Africa section, Kilimanjaro Safaris. This is a really amazing ride. It is entirely focused on showing you animals and immersing you in an African safari. You get in an open-air vehicle, and you drive around and see animals that are living in replicated habitats that are very similar to the ones in Africa. There's a very educated tour guide, and you get to see elephants, giraffes, hippos, lions, and it all works very naturally because just like with real wildlife, the best times are at dawn and dusk, and you can take videos, and it can really feel like you're on an African safari. The lines can be fairly long for it, but they're always worth it because it's a really fun ride. It is long, and you get to see so much of Animal Kingdom, and it's really the attraction that is anchoring the entire park, and before Flight of Passage was probably the flagship attraction. Now let's move to the Asia section and discuss the lone roller coaster in the park, Expedition Everest. In my opinion, this is the best roller coaster at Walt Disney World. It isn't the most thrilling coaster you can find, not even in Florida, but the theming is amazing. The park made a 200-foot tall mountain for the ride, and it is fantastic. Every tunnel you go through has great rock work, and it looks like a real mountain. To add to this, you have the cool Yeti projections, the broken track, and of course the massive Disco Yeti animatronic. The theming on this coaster is unrivaled in the resorts. The roller coaster elements are pretty strong too, with the backwards section being particularly good. From the queue to the end of the ride, Expedition Everest is a fantastic experience that beats out any other roller coaster in the park for a lot of people, including myself. The other ride in the Asia area is Cali River Rapids, and I'll admit, I don't love this ride. The main reason is that it's less thrilling than most rapids rides, and I never really get that wet on it. That said, there's no denying the excellent theming on the ride. The queue looks excellent, and the theme of deforestation is quite good and well implemented with a message shining through. The destroyed forest area looking out at Expedition Everest is amazing. Therefore, even if this isn't one of my favorite rides, the theming deserves a lot of respect. I just do have a preference for getting soaked on the water rides. That said, this is a really strong ride in the parks lineup, with the theming being an especially strong shower. The final ride I'm going to talk about is Dinosaur. This is a really good dark ride. The animatronics are really cool, the ride itself is pretty thrilling, and it's a fast, fun ride. It's often compared to the seemingly superior Indiana Jones Adventure. I've not done that run, but while it seems to be much better in many ways, that doesn't mean Dinosaur isn't a great ride. It's fun, has some good impressive technical elements, and it's a strong ride in Animal Kingdom's collection. All in all, Animal Kingdom has a great ride collection. It may only have 7 total rides, but 6 of them have really excellent theming, and rides like Flight of Passage are some of the best themed rides in the world. Beyond the excellent ride collection, Disney's Animal Kingdom has the best theming in Walt Disney World. Let's start by talking about the best themed area in the entire resort, Pandora.
Pandora is unlike anything you'll have ever seen at another park. It begins to make sense why Disney spent $500 million on it once you enter the land. Let me start off by saying that the world of Avatar has just about anything you could ever want in a themed area. You've got your 2 e-ticket attractions, yes, I consider Na'vi an e-ticket. You've got your beautiful surroundings that make the land feel otherworldly. You've got the mind-boggling atmosphere that has you imagining what it would be like to be on another planet. You have amazing food, you've got amazing drink offerings that fit right in, and the list just carries on. I have never been so sad walking away from a themed land in my life than I was with Pandora, and I genuinely wish that we had something like it over at the Disneyland Resort in California. But if anything, this is all just a reason for me to head back over to Animal Kingdom, which quickly became one of my favorite parks, not just in Florida, but anywhere in the world. More on that later.
Outside of Pandora, the rest of the park looks amazing too. The Africa area looks beautiful and was designed to look like a real African village, based on some Imagineers going to real African villages. The Asia area looks beautiful with its Himalayan village setting, awesome mountain in the background, and a very nice theme of conservation. The Tree of Life is a fantastic centerpiece, with hundreds of animals carved into it while still retaining the appearance of a massive baobab tree. I dare say, it is the best centerpiece of any of the parks in the resort. The only area that doesn't look amazing is Dino Land. It's supposed to look like a fairground, sort of. They went for that approach, but it's just not a great fit with the rest of the park. I kinda wish that would get a retheme. That said, the Africa, Asia, and Pandora areas are some of the best in all of Walt Disney World. Outside of the rides, Animal Kingdom has plenty of other great attractions as well. The walking trails, Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, and Maharaj the Jungle Trek are beautiful. They are themed and have really great environments. They are incredible and actually feel like the natural habitats for the animals you can see. No other Disney park has specific designated walking attractions quite like these. The animals are a unique sight, and you can see tigers, gorillas, and hippos. This adds to the messages of conservation and the beauty of the park. As somebody who loves nature and hiking, these walking trails are a highlight of the park for me, and they help complete the theme. Animal Kingdom also has some great shows. Finding Nemo the Musical and Festival of the Lion King are impressive shows with great costumes and a really strong whole theatrical production value. It's Tough to Be a Bug is a great fun show with a great hopper animatronic, and it's overall fun and educational. And Up a Great Bird Adventure is also a fun little show. So what about Animal Kingdom really makes it rise above the other parks? I think it's the immersion more than anything else. Animal Kingdom pulls you into a different world, maybe more so than any of the other parks in the resort.
Obviously, we've talked about the world of Avatar already, which is a huge part about what makes Animal Kingdom a must-visit destination. But even away from that, the visuals and theming that you get throughout the park are unbelievable. Whether it's the grand appearance of the Tree of Life or the incredible views of Expedition Everest, which by the way is a phenomenal ride, Animal Kingdom is much more than just Avatar. Let's also not forget about the classic and immensely entertaining shows, the food offerings around the park, and of course, the very thing that gives this park its identity, the animals. With that being said, you can't ignore how amazing Pandora is when at the park. park. But the point that I'm trying to make is that Animal Kingdom has plenty of other fantastic options for entertainment, which I wanted to briefly highlight for you all.
And those are my overall thoughts on what makes Animal Kingdom the best Disney World park. Is it subjective? No. But I do believe that Animal Kingdom is the best park at Walt Disney World, and there are plenty of reasons for somebody to like the other parks more. That said, I think Animal Kingdom's theming, rides, immersion, and animal encounters allow it to rise above the rest of the resorts.
You know, I would have to agree. All 4 Disney World parks have their own unique strengths, their own unique charm, and their own unique attractions. Magic Kingdom is great for encompassing Walt Disney's dreams, Epcot is great for being so drastically different from the other parks as well as its beauty and food. Hollywood Studios is great for its numerous e-ticket attractions and rapid growth, but Animal Kingdom is great for its never-ending immersion that is amongst the best of any park in the world. Something about that immersion is special and really takes you to another universe. So that is why I think Animal Kingdom is by far the best Walt Disney World park.
It really is a special park. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you CoasterDash for being a part of this project and for sharing your thoughts on Animal Kingdom. Make sure you check out CoasterDash if you haven't already and subscribe to both of our channels if you have not. I'll see you next time.